Here we are in the Brightside neighborhood of Holyoke, Massachusetts, and we're going to talk about all the institutions that used to be up here, which are very many, and still are very many. If you had come out here in the early 1880s, you would have found one, and it was called the Ingleside Hotel. It was a resort hotel which tried to attract many visitors around New England because they had a beautiful view of the Connecticut River, no trees, and it's somewhat bored, but it burned down, and it was taken over by the nuns of the Sisters of Providence. The Sisters of St. Joseph. Sisters of St. Joseph had come in here in 1886, and they bought the land, and then they built up the first Mount Marie. This, what you see, is the second Mount Marie. The chapel is in the background. The chapel is in the middle of the residential section. What you're seeing now is a 1952 rendition, so everything was taken down and rebuilt, looking exactly the same as it was before. So what you see is a beautiful chapel in the middle, but residential halls towards both sides, including going backwards that you don't see. Now, this is Mount Marie. It's not the mother house of the Sisters of Providence. It was their summer home and novitiate. So summer home means Sister Providence are mostly teachers, and this is where they came out here during the summer to get away from the heat of Springfield, Massachusetts. It's also novitiate, where the novice nuns, or rookie nuns, would come out and get trained to be nuns, and then go on to further college training to take on a career. So this is a great spot. The original building of Mount Marie was built up in 1894. It lasted 1952, and this is the 1952 rendition. Very nice inside that chapel and other buildings. Now this area is just filled with institutions. We're going to have stops further down the road this direction, and what you're going to see down in that direction is the Sisters of Providence. They control this lower area, and they call that lower area Brightside in general as a neighborhood. And what it had was an orphanage for boys, an orphanage for little babies. It eventually would have the Providence Hospital, and it had the mother house too. So it had a lot of institutions. Plus it has their cemetery. Now go in this direction. You can see the gates for the Sisters of St. Joseph Cemetery. It wasn't opened to burials until the 1970s, and their original burial ground was in Springfield. This is the Mount Marie, or Sisters of Providence Cemetery. It has a couple of nice quotes on it. I'll just read one of them. I am the resurrection and life. Whoever believes in me shall never die. Inside there, we'll have a stop, but inside there, not only is the burials of nuns and some of their parents, but it also is relics from the different institutions that they belong to and came from. And we'll see some of those. Also, it has a labyrinth inside there. So this labyrinth works, because a true labyrinth, you have a goal of not only getting yourself from one place to the other, it also has a goal of trying to make you tranquil. And it works. Now, the last direction we're going to look, in this direction towards the north, the first institution that came out here was actually up in that direction. It was the Sisters of Providence institution, and they were trying to make orphanages out here. And the first orphanage out here was the Mount St. Vincent Orphanage for girls. And not only was it that, any of the nuns that served those girls lived out there, so it also doubled as a convent. And also, there were some men that were very elderly and could not take care of themselves very well, and they put them in that building too. That building is now gone. It lasted from 1880 until about 1950s, when they finally joined it with the Brightside for Boys. And since then, it was taken over by the city of Holyoke for a long time, and it became a place for people with low income to live. And it also now, as of last year, is a rehab center for post-operational people. So you can see this whole area is just absolutely filled with institutions, and we're going to see very many of them. And you can see it's very well taken care of, because look at all the beautiful trees. They tried to make this a beautiful area. I used to come out here when I was very young, and I was so amazed everything was just gorgeous. If you ever have an opportunity, I hope you can go inside that chapel and either listen to the music or catch a mass there, because it's very nice in that chapel. So I hope you go on all the stops of Brightside, and this is the introduction, and thank you for coming along.